Hey everybody, my name's Sarah. This is my intercultural presentation for communications class. When I got this assignment and read it, it kind of gave me a thought to talk about maybe the generational gap in culture and religion. So that's kind of where I went with it. I happened to interview one of the physicians that I work with who is from a completely different culture and religion than what I know and what I grew up with. He is Jewish. He grew up in South Africa. He immigrated to the United States in the 80s when he was in his 30s. He has two grown adult children. He was married here. His parents still live in South Africa. So it was just kind of an interesting conversation to sit down and talk with him about what his parents think about his life here, what his parents think about his children's life, how they have kind of still practice their religion, but in his words, it's more traditional and family time for them when they get together for their holidays that they observe. A few things that I didn't know about Jewish culture or religion was their quote unquote holy day is Friday at dusk until Saturday at dusk, and they are not supposed to drive, they are not supposed to watch TV, they're not supposed to use electricity, they're not supposed to use cell phones. Obviously, he does not abide by that. His children do not abide by that, but his parents do still follow that rule. So that was something interesting that I learned. The other thing I wanted to kind of talk to him about, which is something that I've just noticed, is just this generational shift in how the younger generations, practice culture or religion or faith. And it's not necessarily anymore going every certain day for a specific time for a certain amount of hours, sitting in a brick and mortar building, listening to someone else preach or give a sermon or those things. That to me seems like it's fading away. My children definitely don't spend their Sundays the way that I spent my Sundays, and his children don't either. They kind of stopped doing that once their children were maybe in middle school, and it wasn't a cognizant thing. It was just something that phased out. They do practice some religious holidays. I think I said that already. But it does look like, 25% of Americans only affiliate themselves with some type of brick and mortar church, synagogue, temple. There is a definite shift happening where younger people are just not sitting in a service for an hour and a half to 2 hours one day a week or multiple times a week. So that was also interesting that there are some parallels in not just his religion, but just the United States in general. The other thing I wanted to talk to him about was kind of this merge of different cultures and different races, and how it's shifted quite a bit. Again, from 30 years ago, 20 years ago, it's just becoming more wildly accepted to have interracial marriages and intercultural marriages and families blend together. And people are, more open and wanting to learn, it seems like. And his two children right now are dating people who are not Jewish. And it was kind of a shock to his parents, but not something that he and his wife have a problem with. And they've promoted and encouraged their children to just date people that they enjoy being around, and not necessarily whether they're Jewish or not Jewish. So in summary here, as I kind of get to the end in my time, it was just a very interesting conversation. I did learn some things that I did not know, but it does seem like there is a cultural shift happening and a lot more acceptance, not just among the United States, but in Europe and in South Africa, and in different types of faiths that are coming around, to not necessarily everyone being in the same place of worship for the same amount of time every day. People are just not doing that anymore. And he sees it in his faith as well. So I hope that this was informative to you, and I hope that it wasn't just rambling. But that is my presentation on intercultural and culture, and it was very informative to me. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for your time, and have a good night. Bye-bye.